So Fiza O and Girlfriends, hari ini macam selalu hari Rabu saya akan bersama dengan salah seorang artis. As usual, every Wednesday I'll be with an artist, dan selalunya hari Rabu ni bergantung pada siapakah yang saya ketemu bual, dan kadang-kadang interview saya akan sepenuhnya dalam bahasa Inggeris. So occasionally my interviews will be 100% in English perhaps. And hari ini kita nak perkenalkan, let's introduce the beautiful, no, she doesn't have to put on any makeup at all. The glowing, beautiful Iman
Hello,
Fandi.
everybody.
Iman, hi.
Hello.
Congratulations.
Thank
You're
you
like
so.
releasing singles back to back, girl.
I mean, I'm trying to keep it consistent. Trying to push out as much music as I can, and I'm just so happy that I was able to put out "Love Me Little More" that just came out in October,
And your first song, when was it?
February, called "Time Frame." So
So
that
like
was
you're like doing two songs.
2 songs right now, yes. But I have more in store. It's just planning the time to release them. So yeah.
You already have like a few songs in your deck.
Yes, I have a few songs planned, and also I'm working on an EP that
Uh-huh.
hopefully I can release next year, and that's gonna have a couple of songs, and I want to also like be able to share with you guys a little of my music that takes you through like a roller coaster of emotions and different vibes. You can dance, you can sing, you can
Mhm, mhm.
cry too. So yeah, I have a lot of things
Oh,
right
cry
now.
too. Love Me Little More.
Yep.
It's a fun song, but actually a sad song, I felt.
Yes, yes, yes. The lyrics are actually quite sad, but of course, I wanted a contrast with
Mhm,
the production of the beat, so that's
mhm.
why you get that tropical summer beat. And
Yes,
my
yes.
intention was to have a summer anthem, like a summer romance song. And
Mhm,
I think
mhm.
"Love Me Little More" was just a perfect song to put out.
And that was like, how involved are you? Okay, I'm gonna ask you a lot more about Love Me Little More.
Mhm.
And but what your first song when you came up? I mean, I didn't get to interview you when your first song came up, but I'm sure I was in the bandwagon of people who was very shocked when Iman Fandi came out with a single. Because we
Yeah.
see you as a
Even my
model, we
parents
see.
my parents were shocked even, because I kept it a secret from them until I put it out, and until I was filming the music video and everything, and, when I had the press conference, they were there for the first time to see me, transition into this next chapter of becoming a singer. So my parents were also in that, bandwagon of, the shocked. Yeah.
Did they ask you what happened?
They didn't really ask me that much questions regarding like, "Oh, why are you doing this?" and all that, but they were very, like, supportive
Mm.
in a very, like, parental way. They're like, "Oh, like, like, just take care of yourself, make sure you're doing what you love,
Mhm.
try it out, see how it is." And I was like, "Yeah, okay, I got this. I know what I'm doing."
Ada yang komen tadi cakap Iman Fandi cantik. Um, how wide? I mean, would you understand such comments?
In Malay?
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. Honestly, I can understand Malay very well, but
Really?
when I speak, it's a bit like rabak. Yeah, it's very like it sounds very, I don't know, to me it just sounds very like angmo, very white, it brings out that other
Okay.
side.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, I find it so adorable. Okay, can we
Yeah,
have the first 10 minutes of
the
Iman
first 10
Fandi,
minutes.
Giving your rabak
Okay, I
Malay?
can try sedikit
Okay.
sedikit. Um tapi
Okay.
jempukan dengan bahasa Indonesia.
It was so cute. I've never heard like a rabak with a K, like it's a rabak. But it's but I get it, like, okay. So when I first entered radio, of course there was a lot of training to be done, and so certain words in Bahasa Melayu you don't have to have like a strong diction to it. Like you don't
Mm.
say kanak kanak, right?
Oh, okay.
You just say
Yeah.
kanak kanak. But
Yeah.
what like are you close to your um like your nini, your
Mm.
makcik? Do they talk to
Yeah.
you also in Bahasa Melayu?
Yeah, they speak to me in Bahasa Melayu, and I used to live in Indonesia, in
Oh
Jakarta,
yes, you
and
did.
I have a helper that's here with me in Singapore, and, she's from Indonesia, so when she speaks, she understands English, she can speak English as well, but, when she speaks to us,
Okay, I think we have a bit of a lag. Kita akan kembali selepas ini. Dan sebuah lagu untuk anda. And we back with Iman Fandi.
Tengok dia, penampilan kau sepenuhnya. Sesetiap langkah bertenaga, semua tenganga melihatnya. Usah kau rasa bimbang, mereka akan membuat kau bahagia. Cause you're ready now untuk terima. Fiza O and girlfriends, Fiza O and girlfriends, Fiza O and girlfriends, girlfriends. Fiza O and girlfriends, Fiza O and girlfriends, Fiza O and girlfriends, girlfriends. Girlfriends, sekarang tak macam dulu. Biar semua orang tahu, cerita benar berlaku. Usah kau rasa bimbang, mereka akan membuat kau bahagia. Cause you're ready now untuk terima. Fiza O and girlfriends, Fiza O and girlfriends, Fiza O and girlfriends, girlfriends. Fiza O and girlfriends, Fiza O and girlfriends, Fiza O and girlfriends, girlfriends.
Oh.
What's up, fam? I'm Young Raja. I just had a beautiful conversation with Fiza O. So if you're watching this, don't forget to click the subscribe button to Fiza O and Girlfriends. Let's go.
Thank you, Young Raja.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey,
Iman.
I have no idea what
Okay,
happened.
no, it happens. It's live stream.
Yes, it's the internet. It's the
It's the
internet.
internet. The internet will conspire sometimes, to
Yes.
either, move it forward or okay. So are you close to your helper, your Indonesian helper?
Yeah, she's been with us for almost 10 years now. So, yeah.
So she's like basically with you for half your life. Like almost half
Yes,
of your life.
yes,
Kan?
exactly.
Dan ada yang cakap juga, haha, comel lah Iman sebut rabak.
Rabak.
I found it very adorable to like, yeah, my Melayu is very rabak. um, jadi kalau, okay, I'm gonna speak to you in Bahasa Melayu. Let me, put up your hands, you go like, help, okay?
Okay.
Like, help Kak Fiza. Pause.
Mhm.
Jadi kalau pembantu rumah Iman, cakap dengan Iman dalam bahasa Indonesia.
Boleh.
Dan Iman akan jawab balik dalam bahasa
Melayu.
juga dengan dia.
Hah?
Jadi Iman akan jawab balik pada pembantu rumah Iman
Melayu
dalam bahasa
dengan
Indonesia.
Ya, ya.
Berapakah usia Iman ketika Iman di Indonesia
4 tahun.
Oh,
Ya.
ingat tak berapa lama?
When I was like 6 to 10 years old, so for 4 years, I was in
Kalau di
Indonesia.
Indonesia sekolah ambil bahasa Inggeris dan bahasa Indonesia.
Ya, saya sekolah di international school, tapi second language harus bahasa Indonesia.
Maka itulah ada kata Fiza berjaga juga membantu Iman. Oi, saya sendiri nak kena betulkan juga bahasa Melayu saya jadi it's so adorable. So okay, let's try this. Saya akan tanya Iman dalam bahasa Melayu, Iman akan jawab bahasa Inggeris.
Okay, boleh, can.
I just find it so adorable. Okay, so Iman, first things first, you have gone through so many interviews. Pertama sekali menjadi di model usia Iman 14 tahun kan? Anda dan masuk dalam first competition terus menang.
No, I didn't win. So the first time I went into modeling, I was 14 years old. I did the new paper, new face competition, and I also hid this one away from my mom. It was a modeling competition, and I signed up and everything, and I didn't expect me to actually get in, So they called me for the audition, and I went, and my mom came with me because I was just like, oh, it's just like a normal audition, And then she came along and she saw some of her friends from the modeling industry. Then she asked me, what is it? Then I say it's a competition. And then I got in and, I won 2 titles, but I didn't, like, win the competition. But, I mean,
But 2
it's
titles, yeah.
yeah,
It's a big
it
deal
was
for
kind of
something
proud of,
yang you buat
yeah.
pertama kali kan? You've
Yeah,
never done
it
it
was
before, right?
yeah, no, my first time. Yeah.
Like like I saw, the very cute video you and your mom did on your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And so some of the things you asked her. Oh, wait a minute! I'm gonna get my handphone. So I actually did a Q&A yesterday.
Mhm.
For your followers, for those who follow me on IG, and asked them if they had any soalan ataupun questions for Iman. Drop me a question. So they, of course, and most times whenever people ask about Iman Fandi, in fact, when you go on Google.com, when you type
Yeah.
Iman Fandi, what gets recommended is Irfan's sister,
Yeah.
right?
I get that, yeah. Yeah.
And like how do you feel about it?
I think it's fine because I mean Irfan was the first child, I think of like Fandi Ahmad and Wendy Jacobs. So I think as the oldest child and also as the first child, he will always be the first one mentioned. And when it says like Irfan's sister, I think I'm like fine with that because I'm proud to be his sister. But also as I'm growing up now, I'm also trying to kind of like have my own path, you know. Yeah.
And you have so many brothers.
Yes,
There's
I have 4 brothers.
there's four, yeah, four. So there's there's Irfan,
Irfan,
there's Ihsan, Ilhan,
Irfan,
and Irian.
yes, Ilhan, Irian. So all of
So
us actually have like this I and
yeah,
AN. Yeah.
and ends with an N. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Phonetically,
yeah.
it sounds good.
Yes.
So which one is your favorite brother?
Oh, okay. This question I get so many times, but I will say all of them are very different. I hang out with them on different occasions, and I think as I grew up, I was very close to Iksan at first. And then I think 2 of my older brothers are overseas now, so I'm closer to Irian, yeah. And Ilhan has just been the irritating one.
And
He
that
just likes
answer
to
has been
do
consistent.
everything.
You're like, Ilhan is irritating. Is it an
Yeah.
age thing perhaps?
I mean, we're all quite close in age, but I just think it's like personality and like he loves to disturb like people. And I think he gets that from my dad, like that funny, joking side, always want to like kind of like be the comedian. So
Mhm,
yeah.
mhm. So would you say that you're not the like you're quieter, like your mom?
I used to be quite quiet. And me and my older brother are similar in the ways that where we're quite quiet. But I think we're all quite funny because I realize when we hang out with our friends and they watch us hang out all together, they're like, "You guys are a weird family." Yeah, but I love it. We're all just like trying to have fun and live carefree.
Like when you were doing the video with your mom, the challenge with your mom,
Mhm.
and there was a question that asked, "Do you tell your mom everything?"
Yeah.
And then your mom was so fast in her answer. She was like, "No, she doesn't tell me anything."
I mean, who tells their mom everything? Do you tell your
Yeah,
mom everything?
no, no.
Exactly.
But do you tell her most things?
I think things that I need help with, or I think also as I'm getting older, I ask her a bit more questions of like, just like advice. I think it's very good to have advice from your mom because they know, a lot of
They
things.
know.
Yeah, they know.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah.
It's sometimes a surprise, right? Like you haven't even mentioned it to her, and she kind of like she got it.
Yeah. Or like even, sometimes if you need help with something, like I'm planning, to get presents for my friends for the holidays and I was just asking what should I get and she was just like, "Oh, this, that." And I was like, "Oh, why didn't I think of that?" And she was like, "Yeah, I'm your mom."
Right?
They know
I
it
even
all.
mom, I had your mom on Go Friends a couple of months back, and obviously, when you were interviewing Wendy Jacobs as a model, as a mom, and she talked quite a bit about you.
Mm.
Well,
What did
so
she
I
say?
was like, Yeah, quite a bit about you. And I can't remember exactly what she said. But then I think you were about to go to, was it LA?
Yes, yes, yes. I went to
Right?
LA.
But
Yeah.
I think you were not yet in LA or you were already at LA. That bit I couldn't remember.
Mhm.
She was saying, that girl, she does what she wants.
Yeah.
But so in a way, and I think she says it something like, "That's a lot of you in her, or a lot of her in
Mm,
you." She says a lot. She's
yeah.
like, "The two of us, we're too similar."
Yeah, I think we're similar in a way where we're very independent, and I
Yeah.
think also growing up as the only girl in the family, just me and my mom, like the only two girls, I feel like as the only girl in the within the siblings, I had to also learn how to grow up by myself a little bit. So I
Mhm.
I watched my mom, to see how she does things when I was very little. And I don't think she noticed this, but I watch her like all the time, like to,
Oh,
what she likes, what she doesn't like. I watch her do her makeup and I learn. And I think every daughter kind of like learns that from their moms, you kind of like
mm.
copy. It's like a carbon copy a bit, yeah, the habits and everything. So
What
yeah,
what are some of the habits that you actually emulate?
I think talking with our hands is one thing, and also I think when we do facial expressions, sometimes we have the same like weird face, or like when we talk, it's just like I don't know. Um, yeah, I think it's those little things.
I can't remember what I asked her, but it was something to the effect of getting married. I
Getting
asked her
married.
that. I was like, because oh, okay, okay, okay. So I was asking her, obviously, what was her age when she got married to your dad,
Yeah, she
and I
was
think it was
young.
very,
She was
no, she's
young.
very young, 21,
I think yeah, I think she just turned 22, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. So I
right?
said, "What if I got married I'm
Yeah, yes,
21 now. What if I got married?" And she's like, "No." Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So so what if Iman is gonna tell? So I asked her that. I think I said, so what if Iman's gonna tell you, hey, mom, I just saw this person,
Mhm.
and we have lots of chemistry, and yes, I'm also gonna get married at 21.
Oh, wow.
What to,
No, she
and
would
then she
not
says,
allow that.
but she didn't say no. She didn't
Ah.
quite say no. I'm gonna send the clip of the interview after the interview is done,
Yeah, Imma
so
watch
that
the
you can
whole.
like, hey, yeah. So you can like, mom, you said something differently to the public. I think
Yeah.
she was like, if someone, if, and she says that she gives her children a lot of freedom, which I
Mm,
believe, in terms of their what they want to do, and what they want to pursue,
mhm.
and okay, correct me if I'm wrong. I've always, okay. Were you ever pressured to do something or to be something because you are a Fandi? Like, because everyone knows Fandi Ahmad. Oh,
Okay,
okay, look.
honestly,
Yeah,
I don't feel the okay, so when I was younger, I also played football, actually. I played as a
yeah.
striker and a defender for a little bit. And then, after Indonesia, we came back here to Singapore. And I was a very active child. So I went into different kinds of sports. And, my parents are very supportive where they let me do like boxing, taekwondo, all this little thing, tennis, whatever. Then I think around 14 years old when I joined the competition, I went into modeling. That became something that like I was interested in because of my mom. But it wasn't because I was pressured to become a model. So it was something that I liked and I still enjoy right now. But I think the pressure of doing something wasn't there, as in like it's not in our family, but it's more of the pressure of living up to the standard of the Fandi Ahmad name, and I think no matter what we do, I think even my brothers feel this way where it's like no matter what we do, I feel that I can reach, dad's level. I wish I could have that respect of how he has everybody's respect and to also put it off with like grace and uh to be like so graceful with it and he has a lot of like humanity and I mean he's so like a very nice guy to like I feel he's very likable we
He is
also
very
want to be that
likable.
way Yeah, and I think that's kind of the pressure that at least I feel of like, okay, I hope I can reach a standard. I hope I don't disappoint the family, that kind. I think I was a bit scared also when it came to trying new things, because what about the judgment? I think those are little pressure points that we feel, or that I feel. But yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't walk your shoes, but I absolutely could imagine the immensity of pressure because, like,
Especially
when you,
for
yeah, from young, that like I think as a 4 year old, even you have realized that your dad is super famous
I
because
only
whenever
realized when I came back from Indonesia.
oh, when you go back from Indonesia, like
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
what was the age that you realized that that Fandi Ahmad is actually
10,
not just famous but super famous?
about 10 years old. Sorry, it's like storming so loud.
Yeah, mine too. It's okay.
About 10 years old when I moved back to Singapore, and when I went into school was the moment that I realized, like, why is everybody looking at me? And then it was like, your name, that kind. It was that kind. And I think I did also feel a bit of like um, favoritism when it came, not when it came to teachers, but when it came to school. I think it was very hard to meet real friends. So those were like little issues that I was, like little challenges. I mean, that I was facing at that time. And now with social media, everything is like
Yeah,
kind of out there, and I think
yeah.
it can be a scary place for a young child. But I'm just so happy that now, as the years come by, I've learned so much. I learned how to be a better person, to also speak up for myself, to not be so shy. I used to be such a shy girl. But yeah, I think I'm still learning. I think everybody's also still learning to be better.
Were you shy also because you were like, oh, don't look at me because I'm Fandi's daughter? Or you found out?
I was always
Mhm.
I was always proud to be Fundy's daughter, but I think there was a time where I was like, "Oh, I think I want to show people that, oh, my dad did not get me this, or my dad didn't help me with this, or just because I have the name, it doesn't mean that everything is just handed to me." So that was something that I felt like
The extra work.
yeah, that I wanted to prove. And I think that's why when I went into the music industry, I kept it a secret until I had like kind of like laid out everything. I had the music done, I had the music video done, had the right time that we were gonna put it out, and like planned everything before I put it out, or even told my family that, hey, I'm doing this. Because I
Mm.
didn't want people to, although I cannot control what they think,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't want people to be like, oh, she got it just because her dad like pulled strings. Yeah.
Which is absolutely untrue because your dad is not in the music industry
Well,
anyway.
then I found out he
Uh-huh.
actually did put up a album a while
Yeah,
ago.
I think about
What?
20 years ago.
Yeah, yeah,
20
yeah. I
more?
think it's called,
Anugrah.
yes, Anugrah.
You see? Like, like whatever Fandi touches turns to gold, like kind of thing. So like he's not a singer, but the album was like went platinum and multi-platinum, like everyone bought
Yeah,
it.
and I was so shocked when I like heard about it, and my dad was like, I did music, right?" And I was like, "What?" Then I looked it up on YouTube, and I heard the songs.
And you're like, also, so your dad, so you never knew your dad had a song till you like, okay, I'm gonna make a song. Like, oh, I actually have a single
No, yeah,
ready.
I didn't know. And then I know we have some CDs
Mhm.
that in our storage of the Anugrah album, the CDs. So those are like very nice memories for keepsakes.
There's a couple of questions from someone here, and I'm gonna answer right after this very short break for Iman to think about it. It says from Ruby, do you feel much pressure being the child of a popular public figure, like the need to control? Oh, I think Iman answered this. The need to
Mm.
control, aware of your outlook, your dressing, always looking out, and be an angel.
Should I answer that now or think about it?
Yeah, think about it. We'll be back in about uh, 40 seconds.
Fiza O and girlfriend. Fiza O and girlfriend. gaya cara baru to the top, no less. Alam baru, channel baru, Fiza O and girlfriends. Fiza O, Fiza O, 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 Fiza O and girlfriends. Ikut gaya cara baru to the top, no less. Alam baru, channel baru, Fiza O and girlfriends.
What's up, guys? My name is Fiza O. You are watching Fiza O and Girlfriends. I guess I'm a girlfriend today. Don't forget to subscribe. Peace.
Thank you, Jabarino. So Iman,
Hello.
you were like selalu thinking like, okay, what was it? What was the moment? So what was it?
The pressure, right? The pressure question.
So do you feel much pressure? Or you're like,
Not
because you grew
anymore.
up with it, not anymore. Oh, but you used to have it as a teenager. But you are still a teenager, as a young teenager.
I mean, I think when I was younger, maybe it was a bit more heightened. It was worse. The pressure I felt was like, oh no, what if I always had this, and I think even now it's not so bad, but I still have like these thoughts like, oh no, like what if I cannot, do the things my brothers are doing, or like, oh no, what if I don't get a job or do a thing that I want to do, or like, oh no, what if I do something lame? What are people gonna think? I think because my dad has such a great reputation with football, and also I think with everyone here in Singapore, I always felt the pressure of like, what if I cannot kind of do something as great? So that was what I was feeling, and I was thinking like, I think, I always thought like, oh no, what if I cannot do it? Or what if
Yeah. Do you
what
ever
I
feel the
cannot
pressure of you have to do sports well because
I think when it came to sports, I knew I wasn't gonna do sports. And I knew I wasn't gonna do it. I knew it was something that I love, like as a hobby, but I wasn't gonna do it. I think modeling was something that I was a bit more focused on at that time. I was like, I think I want to really pursue like modeling, and that's I think between 14 to about 19 years old, 20 years old when I was really like focusing on it. And before that, I was just, I did do competitive track and field for a bit and football, but it didn't last long because I mean, I got injured and it just wasn't something I wanted to do competitively anymore. But
yeah.
to answer the question of like the need of control or aware of how I look, I think I think also being the only girl, it does put a bit more pressure of like, ooh, I probably shouldn't wear this, or ooh, like I think also even as all girls probably go through this of like, what if I look ugly, or what if it's too much, or what are people gonna think, and what if I change my hair or cut my hair, and are people gonna make comments? And I think when I was younger, that was definitely something I felt all the time. And now being a bit more in the public eye, I do feel that a bit more when it comes to looks and how I act. But I definitely know that when I'm with my friends and family, I can be like, as lazy and as like
As Iman as possible.
yeah.
But you do
Sorry?
so but you do know that you are naturally very attractive without having to try.
Thank you. But I think also like, when it comes to social media or being out there, like doing interviews and stuff, I just try to be myself because I always think, you have to be authentic. You have to tell your truth, your story. And like, I think people will like that more than faking something. And even what I put on social media, if it's goofy and I want to put it out, I'll put it out, But of course, sometimes certain things you just can't put on the internet.
I see so many comments in the comment section saying that Iman is so pretty, and she is. She's so beautiful. And just so you know, the first thing I asked Iman before the show started, before the live show started was, so Iman, do you have any makeup on? Because I don't see makeup. Like she's like, I did my eyebrows and a bit of concealer. I'm like, you didn't spend any time basically.
No, I mean, I honestly, I love makeup, but I don't wear it daily. because I think I love to take care of my skin also. So I don't put on as much makeup unless I really have to. But I love makeup, and yeah, I just put a little concealer, do my eyebrows, put a little blush, and yeah,
And that's it. So there's
that's it.
there's nothing on your skin right now.
Moisturizer, and yeah, concealer for
That's
those
it.
very long nights.
Yeah, okay. Right. Thank you for making us right now feel um
No, everybody is beautiful, okay? Whether you wear makeup or not.
kata Nadia, Iman is as humble as her daddy, Fandi Ahmad. Beauty inside and outside, very down to earth, just like your mommy, Wendy Jacobs. Stay safe, take care, Iman, and love you. Thank you,
That's
Nadia.
so sweet. Thank you, Nadia.
Very, 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 very kind of you.
Yeah.
And about having poise, we like what you said. You emulate your mom, observe her a lot more than she ever knew about it. Like you've been watching her all of her life, right? You silently watch her, how she talks to people, how she talks to you, how she
Mm,
carries herself, and that's why it kind of inspired you to be a model. If you
yeah.
when you
Yeah.
saw her photos, you look at her pictures, and that's very, very. I mean, as a mom myself, I felt no, that's really sweet if my own child looks up to me that way.
Mm, yeah. I think
Um,
like most parents don't realize how much their children actually watches them. This sounds very like stalking, but watches them, I think from young as a child, your parents are kind of like the ones that guide you.
mm,
So no matter what they do, how they act, you kind of like follow them. Is that right or wrong? And I'm just so grateful that I was able to kind of embody my mom's poise, and also my dad's like you know humbleness, and trying to be nice. And I think from young, the both of them have always told us, no matter what you do, no matter how far you go or famous you get, or you know, things that you do, always remember your family, and to be humble and to respect everybody, no matter what their position is. Because, like, no matter who you're working with in the industry, in the sports industry, whatever it is, always respect, like the cleaners, the makeup
mm.
artists, those that are producing, everybody. And I think, everybody deserves respect, because that's what they're doing. They're working, and yeah.
and okay, so we see you, Iman, as someone who's super young and very confident, very poised, and probably a lot of kids. So I received a number of DMs from like 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds who had to happen to follow me on my IG, and also asking questions from their own POV, their own perspective. But before that, I actually have some. But I'll get to that later on. So some of them are asking, and they look at you as someone who's so confident, um, and probably they see you as perfect, like
Oh,
you've not gone through problems or
no, 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 no,
troubles
no, no,
or
no.
having self doubts.
Everybody, everybody has problems, self-doubts, confidence issues, self-esteem. Whether you're a boy or girl, I think everybody feels or goes through that at some point, and I definitely did. I think when I was, even now, sometimes I feel like, oh, am I good enough? Oh, do I look okay, all those little times. And everybody has issues too, like problems that they deal with, but you don't share that. I think everybody just sees what's perfect on the internet, but they don't know the hard work or the things that go behind the scenes. And I think we just need to let them know, like I am now. I mean, telling you all that things do happen that
Mhm,
aren't always perfect, and it's okay, because you will fight through it. And I've fought my own battles, and I am still
mhm,
fighting some battles now.
mhm.
It's just, yeah,
Who's the
you learn.
person? Who's a go-to person for you to just thresh things out?
Oh, one of my best friend, definitely my best friend. But I will say I am the kind of person that kind of keeps to myself a little bit. But I
Mhm.
think,
You
because
write out.
I don't
You write it
think I,
down.
sorry,
You write it down.
no, I just keep it in my head. I like, when I have problems and stuff, I think sometimes I'm a bit like shy or scared to tell people. So I do write it down. as songs. You know, my problems and stuff. That's why I have like I'm able to put emotion and kind of like stories to tell in my songs, and I hope that you guys will be able to hear that one day.
So Love
Um,
Me Little More.
yeah.
I'm looking at it differently right now.
No, okay, honestly, that one is not about me. That one was inspired by um true experience, but from one of my friends. And you know,
Mm.
she was the one that was telling me about this problem, this relationship, and I was like, you know what, this is great. I'm gonna use it for a song. And she was like, no, like you're not gonna do that. Like, how could you, like, you know, I'm sure you can't like write a song of what I just told you. And I showed it to her and she was like, whoa. So yeah, that's
So
how
it's
Love Me Little
about
More came about.
so what is your, I mean, as I was, no, we were saying about Iman being confident, has it all, she's got it all. But what is your biggest fear?
Okay, because when I was, even now, we will move a lot. We move, you know, different countries a lot. And I have family that's overseas as well. And now even my brothers are overseas. And since I was young, there were always people coming in and out of my life, where it's kind of like they go overseas and they come back and then they go overseas again. Like my brothers, like my parents, you know, we were never a full family at one
Mm.
time.
Yeah, I
I
saw your
think
mom's IG. She's
maybe
like,
the last
my
time
my
was like
children are
a
always
baby.
traveling.
Yeah, and I think that created a fear in me of losing people. So that would have kind of be one of my biggest fears, to say goodbye. Because I have, or like still am right now, going through friends that are leaving the country, or friends that are, you know, moving on with their own like family life. So I'm like, okay, I'll just be here. Yeah.
Would you would you travel? And I mean, would you be living? Would you ever? Do you see yourself doing the same thing ever? Moving on with your life,
Mm. I
like,
see
but not within the
myself
Singapore nucleus.
I see myself traveling for work or even just like to base somewhere for a couple years, but somehow I can never see myself living in another country, raising a family. I feel like the only place I know right now that I am so confident in staying to raise a family and everything is Singapore. I mean, hopefully, when I travel more to more places, I'll be able to have some ideas for a little bit more places where I could raise a family and actually settle down when that time comes. But as of now, honestly, Singapore is the only place that I know of. Like, I'm sure you were kind of like, what do you think?
I mean, I am. I think our life journey has been is so much is so different. I I mean, I had never had to travel from Singapore to Indonesia for 6 years, and then relocate back to Singapore. There was never an uprooting of my life,
Mm,
right? So, and I actually, that question back at me, it's, yeah, I mean, there's an interesting, I have never thought about relocating because that's just how, life has been for me. It's here, it's
yeah,
entrenched, right? And even
yeah,
if I do choose to, like, okay, let's say, like, and this is something that me and my husband thought a couple of years ago, because we know that the industry in Malaysia is really huge,
mm,
right? It's really huge. And there's no way of, like, when you're doing a career, a full-time career, for you to travel to and fro, it's not possible. It's always to stay there for a couple of years,
mm-hmm,
and then because it will not work out by traveling to and fro. You gotta stay
yeah,
there,
mm-hmm,
and I just can't do it because my mom wouldn't allow it anyway. I mean, I've wouldn't allow it anyway. And okay, Iman, I know that you're a young 21-year-old, but sometimes you go like, Mom, like, what do you think? And here I am, a 39-year-old woman. I'm like always asking my mom, like, so what do you think, Mom? Like, what do you think, Ma? Like,
yeah,
she's, he says no. Although I want to do it, it
mm,
makes me pause. Like, okay, so yeah. So yeah, I think you'll never stop asking your mom, for their kind of their seal of approval for me.
mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because, like, I get it done. I'll get my legwork done. I'll do things, get it prepared. And then before I start anything, I'm like, okay, by the way,
What do you think like
by the
that?
way, I'm planning to do this.
Mm.
So yeah, like the moment she likes it, it makes it it makes it easier for me. Has there been anything for you, Iman, that your mom said no to and
Mm.
went on, but you feel very, very uneasy about it?
Oh, I don't think my mom has ever said no to something that I want to do, which is, I mean, great. But she does like help out with like advice. She's like, she makes me think about things before doing them. Like, are you sure? Have you gotten everything ready? You know, like little questions like that, and it makes me think of like, okay, have I actually done it? Am I ready for it? And that's how I also learn how to, you know, be myself and like grow as a woman, because I need to start taking responsibility for my own actions and what I'm gonna be doing. But she's never said no. I think the only time she said no was those times that I didn't want to go to school. Yeah, she'd be like, "No, you're going to school today," and I'm like,
Was there a
"Ugh." But
reason why you didn't feel like it, like going to school?
I think there were just some times where I just wasn't enjoying school so much. And I don't know. I don't mind the studying part. I think it was the social aspect of it, because every time I've changed a couple schools here in Singapore as well. I've moved around.
Mhm.
And I think I always joined a school midway. Like I wouldn't join in January. I would join like in May or, in
Ah,
August. So it's very like halfway. So I was always like, yeah,
yeah. People have their own cliques.
yeah,
People
yeah.
already have established some friendships, and
Mm.
then there you are trying to fit in a certain group that's already formed.
Yes, exactly. But that's why I was always the one just roaming around. I was just like, okay, you want to hang out with me? Okay, cool. You don't want to hang out with me? Okay. Like I was just chilling. Yeah, I
How
didn't
old were
mind.
you then, Ima, when you didn't feel like going to school because of the social
Also
aspect?
between like 14 and 16. I think that was the age I was very like rebellious as well. Like I
Mm-mm.
tried to be. There was a time when my mom dropped me off at school and I actually walked away from school. That was like the worst thing I did as a child, I think so. Yeah.
But she knew about it.
No, she didn't know. She thought I was in school. And she came back to pick me up.
And then?
And she was like, Iman, where are you? And I was like, I told you I'm not going to school. And she was like, well, I'm here picking you up. Then I said, I'm at my friend's house. And she's like, Iman. Yeah. That
But that
was
was the
just
only
like,
time.
that was the only time. Yeah. But now we laugh about it. Yeah.
But was she really angry at that point of time?
I think my mom doesn't really get angry at me. I don't know. Maybe this is like a bias thing, you know. Maybe it's like a mother daughter thing.
And you're the
But
only
yeah,
daughter. Mm.
yeah, she will say that she's angry. She'll be on the phone and like text you that she's angry. But when you see her face to face, she'll be like, "Why did you do that?" Like she won't be like, "Iman." Yeah,
Oh, there's a lot of self-restraint over there
yeah,
for your mom. Actually,
yeah.
she sounds like a very gentle parent.
I mean, she has her times. Everybody has their times.
Yeah,
As
yeah.
we can kind of like push our parents to the limit a bit as children.
Okay, you're gonna think about this. I'm gonna ask you, you're gonna answer me after this little break. Who is your favorite family member? It doesn't have to be, within the seven of you in the
Mhm.
family. It could be like the other closest relatives, your favorite family member.
Okay.
So Iman's gonna have a minute and be back after this. Kita kembali sama sini dengan of course Iman Fandi dalam Fiza O and Girlfriends.
Tengok dia, penampilan kau sepenuhnya. Sesetiap langkah bertenaga, semua tengah-ngah melihatnya. Pusat kau rasa bimbang, mereka akan membuat kau bahagia. Cause you're ready now untuk terima. Fiza O and Girlfriends, Fiza O and Girlfriends, Fiza O and Girlfriends, Girlfriends. Fiza O and Girlfriends, Fiza O and Girlfriends, Fiza O and Girlfriends, Girlfriends. Girlfriends, girlfriends, sekarang tak macam dulu.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Yoni Boy. Jangan lupa untuk follow Fiza O and hit the subscribe button. Let's go. Pa.
Thank you, Yoni Boy. Dan okay, so tadi saya tanya kepada Iman, who is your favourite family member? Siapakah anggota keluarga yang paling Iman mungkin rapat ke, dekat ke, sayang ke? When you like is a very big, favourite is a, basically a very huge spectrum of things. It could be someone that you really sayang, someone that you really trust, right? So who is this person?
Okay, I'll do it outside of the 7 of us. Would have to be my grandma from Cape Town. She's my favorite grandma, favorite like family member that I love, 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 love. I think she's also the type that allows you to like do anything, and she's always so supportive. She's like, yeah, girl, you go do that. Yeah, she's just like an amazing character to like be around, and she's so positive and she's so loving and she's so like nice to hug. Just like sometimes grandmas are just like they give you that
Yeah,
like
I know.
vibe.
Snuggle with.
Yeah, so it would be my grandma in Cape Town.
Oh, like when you sleep at night, do you sleep with her when you're visiting her?
When I was younger, yeah, but now I have like my own little room that she like made for me when I go back. And yeah, and I remember those times where I would like fall asleep in the living room and she would carry me and like tuck me in. And I'm the type that sleeps and I can move around a lot and like take all the blankets. And she was just like fine with it because I took all the blankets at one time. But I think grandmas will always kind of just deal with it when you're like that.
Like, how do you keep in touch with her? Because what's her name?
Charmaine Jacobs.
So what do you call her?
Grandma. I call her
You
grandma.
just call her grandma, like grandma. Okay. Like, how do you keep in touch with her? Because she's so far away.
The one here I call Nenek.
Nenek. Okay.
Yeah.
So Nenek, what is your favorites? Itulah aku ni, Nenek's favorites. Okay, before I ask about Nenek, I want to ask about grandma, right? In Cape Town. Cape Town is so far away.
Yeah.
How do you keep in touch with her? With your grandma?
Of course, FaceTime, and my mom always calls her almost every single day at a certain time.
Oh,
So
okay.
during that FaceTime or message, and sometimes she'll just send like random messages. And you know how sometimes I think the older generation they send those like pictures of flowers, and it's like, "Hope you have a great day, love."
Thinking of you, and
yeah,
there's a bear with a pot, with a honey pot.
Yeah. So she sends those little things or motivational quotes. She'll send it.
Oh, that's nice. Like little ways of how she keeps in touch and be so present in your life, although she's like so far away.
Yeah.
So for Nini, what is your favorite lauk from Nini?
Oh, lontong. Correct, right? Food. You're asking about food.
I love your self doubt. You're like, is that right? Is it lontong or is it lonting or is it no? It's
Lontong,
lontong,
right?
correct? Yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
I love lontong, and I love it with the what's it called? The coconut shreds. That's my favorite.
That's your favorite lauk
Favorite.
from Nini.
Yeah.
Like what would you tell Nini like occasionally like, oh, I feel like it's not a raya or it's not any special occasion, but when you feel like eating something that she cooks, do you tell her?
She always has food, and she knows that when I'm coming to visit her, she always has lontong because she knows it's my favorite. She'll have lontong and grapes because she knows I love those. Yeah.
Lontong and grapes.
Grapes, like fruits on the side. Yeah.
It's like, like Iman, like a 4-year-old Iman, 21-year-old Iman. It's a sin to
Yeah.
her. And that's just so sweet. So Nini, okay, that's interesting. I mean, now if anyone's compiling information for Iman for Wikipedia, now we know a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I feel, Iman, you always get compliments on your beautiful hair, beautiful skin, beautiful everything. Has there been a compliment that makes you feel a bit uncomfortable?
I don't think so because I also get like DMs of people complimenting me and on my comments on pictures or videos or whatever it is. Most of them are always nice. And if not, then they're just like horrible ones. But I try not to get affected by those, because I feel like haters are always gonna be around anyways. But uncomfortable ones, not really that I can
Mhm.
think of at the top of my head right
Like
now.
uncomfortable, for example, for like an older man that makes
Oh
you
yeah.
feel.
I mean, I think because if you're on social media, I think you'll get random people, and yeah, I have gotten like just weird messages like, "Hi, can I marry you?" And I'm like, "Do you know how old I am? I don't even know you."
I'm a baby. I'm
Yeah.
a kid. But you know, on social media, it's a lot easier to ignore.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel. I mean, I
Sure.
personally, some people they can't ignore it, but you can choose to block. You can choose to just like put him on mute, things like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But in person,
No, I've never gotten in person. Thankfully.
fortunately,
Yeah.
yeah,
Fortunately. Yeah.
like you don't know how to react if someone says like, "Iman, you are what?" So I want to marry you from an older man. Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, but I also think with social media, people are more confident, they're more willing to say like even like hateful things to you. But if it's in person, if you think about it and you ask them to say it in front of you, they wouldn't. And
Yeah.
that's I think something that the social media kind of like allows, which is, a way for people to say whatever they want. And then like you said, being able to ignore it is so much easier than in
Mhm.
person. Yeah.
For the hateful or hurtful comments you've gotten, Iman, and social media takes a lot of getting used to actually.
Mhm. Yeah,
It
my parents
like
are still used to it.
uh, getting used to like also for you to kind of like mute yourself from reading it or believing it. Was there a
Mm,
point of time of your? I mean, I'm sure there was a point of time when you were younger. You didn't. We you were trying to like cope with social media, the
mm,
comments that you got, and we got really super when you got really popular from modeling, got really popular from singing.
mm.
Were there any comments that was hurtful that you kind of like that made you question like it or made you believe in that comment?
Yeah. I mean, I think of course, for sure, when I started Instagram, I didn't really know how to do it until it started getting like super popular. Everybody was doing it. And I think also once I started modeling and putting myself out there and posting more pictures and videos, there were hurtful like comments that I would get, and now I've of course learned how to deal with it. But at that time, the ones that would really hurt me back then would have to be the ones where they compare me or they compare me to my parents. And I think it's never really nice to hear someone say, "Oh, you're disrespecting your parents," and then it makes me think like, "Am I?" But I didn't do anything, or like, am I doing? It makes you question like all these things. Like, am I doing? Is this okay? Like, am I supposed to say something back? And yeah, I mean, those were the ones that were always like, "Ooh," it made me double think. And I think when I was releasing music and starting to get into the music industry as well, there were so many questions in my head from that I would think about because of comments like these. And I just try not to get affected by it, but it does still stick in my head. You see something, it's kind of like okay, but you will still think about it and
Yeah,
see it. You just
yeah,
have to try and move on. Yeah.
yeah. It's very hard, right? It's very hard to forget.
Yes, and
Mm.
I think one of the biggest things I never want to do is to pull down that like Fandi name or like to ruin the reputation. And I think when people do say things like, "Oh, you're disrespecting your father," or blah 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 blah, it makes me double think everything. It makes me like, "Oh, should I stop doing this?" But then I realize, I have the support from my own family, from my own friends. So why should I stop doing something that I love?
Because
Maybe
I
I'll
mean, I cannot
yeah.
imagine someone saying it to you as a what 19-year-old. Was it
Mhm. Yeah.
like
It
as a
started
19-year-old?
these type of comments started when I was like 19, probably. Yeah.
Oh, I was just dropping numbers. I'm like, oh, okay. I'll
Hmm?
assume that because you were appearing on more platforms and you were
Yeah.
appearing on more magazines. right?
Because I think I was
So
of age to do my own things as well. Like the moment I turned 18, I was able to, do photo shoots, go to photo shoots, travel by myself. So I think around like 18, 19 was when it started. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I'm sure it wasn't very easy for you because you were occupied in trying to do the best.
And also I was
For
dealing with school as well at the same time. Yeah.
what you were doing school?
Oh,
Yeah, you were at school as
yeah,
well,
yeah.
and then all these comments that come in. Has it affected also? Does it affect? Do you tell your parents this? Do you show them these comments?
Not really, no. I don't tell them, I don't show them. I think it's a little bit of like that Asian culture in me. Maybe some of you might be able to relate, but I feel like, you it's kind of like paise.
Mm-mm.
Like a bit shy, or like shy to share things like this with your parents, or you don't really talk to your parents about things like, hey, mom, dad, I got this bad like comment, can you help me? I don't think we have that, like I had that relationship that I knew how to express my feelings to my parents in that way. So I keep it to myself, or I tell my friends about it, and I just learn from it. And there were times that I was like, okay, social media break, don't get on your phone. And I
Yeah.
think those help a lot. And I just hang out with my friends, put my phone one side, unless it's like emergency, then I will have to check, of course. But I try to do that once in a while to just not be
I
on my
have a
phone.
couple of questions from some students
Mhm.
on DM. So I'm gonna show it to you. And as I said earlier on, a lot of people look at you, Iman, as very confident, no problems. How do you do it? But like you said, like like what you said, you have your struggles. Just that we don't showcase everything on social media. I think a lot of big celebrities say that as well, so that to normalize, you know, getting help and receiving help for yourself.
Mhm.
So these are some of the questions I've gotten. So from Bobo, she asked, what one advice can you give a 19-year-old student? So she's in poly taking engineering. So she needs some motivation. So I don't know exactly what kind of motivation she's looking at, because it could be possibly, about school, relationships,
Mm.
friendship. And at this
Yeah.
age of your life, I think friendships are everything.
Yeah. Yeah. I think an advice that I can give you regarding school, firstly, is to, if this is something that you love and you want to really like pursue um, engineering, and yeah, engineering, then I think you should definitely like try and focus on it. And when your friends, like regarding friends will come and go, but always stick to the ones that you know that are always going to be there, that do not judge you. It's weird.
Iman, I'm having some problem with my
I'm
camera
just
right
still
now.
here.
Okay, I'm back,
I was
I'm
like,
back.
this
So
is me.
where is Pizza? She's missing. Okay, so next question I have is by early on. Oh, where's my camera? I was just doing my camera. Okay, so this other question by TF Not Your Girl, who asks, who inspires you the most? And I did some, of course, reading up on Iman, and you mentioned about loving Beyonce as some of
Yeah.
your musical inspirations. But who else inspires you in terms of not just music but everything else?
I love Zendaya.
Me
I don't
too.
know. I hope you guys have heard of her. She, I feel like she's just so inspiring to the way she carries herself. She also kind of like loves to lay back, but she presents herself so well in front of the
Hmm.
media, and still so authentic to herself.
Yeah.
And I love that about her. And she's also just doing. She's super young too, and she's also just doing whatever she loves. So I think
Hmm.
I want to kind of like I look up to her in that
Yeah.
way. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you feel she's got life figured out at a young age.
But you would be surprised that, sometimes at a young age, she's doing so well that she might also still be taking things step by step. She's also figuring out as she goes, and that's exactly what I'm doing. And I
Yeah.
think, it's fine to say, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just taking it step by step. And I think
Yeah.
that's
And
what
she's very real about it as well.
yeah, exactly.
Beautiful. I
Mm.
mean, whatever
I
she
know.
wears,
Yeah, I love her. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know about this girl. She can act. She can whatever. She's a chameleon. Zendaya is absolutely beautiful, and I'm happy that you actually like her and make her as a I feel like she's a good role model to a lot of teens because she's all about self confidence. She's all about loving who you are as a person, embracing what you don't have, embracing what you have, and
Mhm.
yeah, she's a great role model for that. I'm
Yeah.
sure the rest of us who's watching right now, if you're not sure of Zendaya, she's actually really the top tier A lister in
Yeah.
Hollywood right now. So
And
do you
also
see
like
yourself, Iman?
Graham.
Sorry,
Hmm?
sorry,
Ashley
say
Graham.
again.
Her name is Ashley Graham. I think
Mm.
she was one of the first like plus size models that
Yeah,
also kind of like branched out into into the media, and I think it's great. She does a lot for like body positivity, which I think is like great also. Yeah.
Do you feel? Do you have people who actually tells you, "Oh well, Iman, it's easy for you to say because you are naturally beautiful."
Oh, I mean I have heard that before. It's like, oh Iman, like you don't have to put that much makeup, so you don't have to you can't just say like, oh, I don't wear that much makeup because you don't need it, because I don't need it. They tell
Mm.
me little things like that. And but I feel like, I do have my little imperfections that I am wary
Mm.
about, and I think everybody has those as well. Or like even when it comes to body image, there were times where I was too skinny or like putting on a little too much weight, and then nobody will really like you for either. So you'll always get somebody that's kind of like saying, "Oh, you
I'm
need
just
to
going
be."
to show you some photos, Iman, of you and your family, and you said something about really hating it or being scared when anyone that you love, family or friends, when they have to travel and relocate.
Mm.
I am not sure where was this photo taken.
Oh, this was taken at so I think it was just after my brothers had I don't know if it was Lion City Cup or like a tournament and at John Bassar, and this was taken at Jewel at the airport
Ah,
because my brother Iksan, that's wearing white, I think
mhm.
he was leaving back to Norway. Yeah. So this was at the airport. This was
And
like our last family picture together, if I'm not
right,
wrong.
yeah, I mean, it was so hard to find like a full family picture of
Yeah,
all
exactly.
five of you,
This was the
A-
last
and
time we all took a picture together.
and that was 3 years
Oh,
ago,
2 years ago. Yeah.
right before COVID.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I think in 2019.
And this one, how old were you here?
Oh my god. This was probably in 2013, 2012, 2013. We were all babies.
Yeah, babies. And 2012, oh, so that means you were about
12, 13 years old.
10, 12, 13. So this is back in Singapore.
This was in Singapore when we just moved back, a year or so after we moved back. Yeah. Oh,
And
this picture is.
what was the best memory as a kid? As as part of the, funny kids.
Definitely traveling together. I think that was one of the most fun times that we had, like going to Cape Town or going to
How
Australia.
often
'Cause
do you go to Cape Town when you could?
we would try every year in December, and then it became like every 2, 3 years. Yeah, but it was always fun going back to Cape Town.
Look at him. Still a baby.
That's Irfan and Irian.
And look at this baby face.
Uh,
Aww.
that's actually
You
one
do,
of the pictures I hate. Like I hate that.
why?
I look
Why?
so, I look so different. Like I don't even know who that is.
Oh,
Like why am
oh,
I
you know
smiling
why?
like that?
This is the part that I think you don't see what we see. What
But
people like me, we see.
that's
We've
the thing.
always, right? Like when I see, like we all know, oh, anak-anak, Fandi Wendy Jacobs, lawa-lawa, eh? Like, and we all think like your family is stunning, like
Mm,
stunning, like lawa-lawa. Like when I see this, I'm like, look at this girl, how pretty is this girl?
no, no, I don't like it. That's one of the pictures I hate. I think like
Um,
I mean we all have kind of like we don't like pictures of ourselves when we're
yeah,
young, you know,
yeah.
at certain stages, but I think we all glowed up quite well.
Okay, I'm gonna show you this other picture, and you tell me whether is it a better version, or is it a better picture for you?
Okay. No. No. I
Why?
think this was the time that I was like putting on weight as well. So I was very like in my head and I didn't know how to style my hair. I was like my hair was getting very frizzy and curly and I was like what am I doing? My hair looks so flat and frizzy. I don't like it and my cheeks are so chubby. So that was the time I was going through that phase of just like not liking myself.
How
Yeah.
old were you here? 16?
I think 15 if I'm not.
15.
Yeah, I think 15.
Okay, and this one thing, just so you know, I feel I had really, I mean, now I've put on weight, but I think I lost a bit of the yeah, baby fats in the 20s. So 15, naturally, even though you're skinny, you will have those fat
Yeah, it's
chicks.
like your cheeks.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have those fat chicks. But you know what? You did not put on weight here. You look really good. Okay.
Thank you.
Again, I think it's easier to look at, from the perspective of someone that's not you. So how
But
old
my
was
dad looks really
Exania?
good.
Yeah, he
That's
does.
Ilhan and my dad. Yeah. So Ilhan was maybe 12? I think he was 12 there. Yeah. Because my two brothers were in NS. You could see the shaved
Already,
head.
okay.
Yeah.
And Irian, how old was he?
Oh, I think he looks like he was. Oh, he looks like he was
5,
7.
7.
Yeah.
So
Or
this
maybe
photo is
younger.
really a long time ago. It's about 6 years ago.
Yeah. It is. Look how tiny he is. He's like
Like
my
do you,
height. He's so tall.
you're all at all. How old? What is your height, Iman? 1 point.
No, I'm like the shortest in my family. I'm like 165, and my brothers are like 1'9", 1'8", yeah. They're all
How would I have
1'9".
thought? I really would have thought you were like 1.75.
No, I can look tall. I can look tall because like I think
You're
throughout
slim.
the years you kind of like learn how to like angle yourself, point your toe a little bit. But I am like tiny. I'm very petite. And I think a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
people actually get quite shocked when they see me. They're like, "Oh, you're so tiny."
Yeah,
I
yeah,
get
yeah.
so many times, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because your brothers are very tall, and so is
Mhm.
your dad. So people will assume that, yeah, you are gonna be, a very tall, very very tall. But 1.65 is tall as well. It's not very tall, but it's tall as well.
Yeah.
I think
It's
your
like
mom
average
is.
height here in Singapore, I think.
Yeah, it
Um,
is. It is. It's slightly
my
more than
mom is
average, actually.
175. Yeah.
Oh, oh
My
yes,
mom
you're
is
really
taller
petite.
than my dad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah. Your mom is taller than your dad.
my brothers get their height from my mom's cousin's side in South Africa because they're like very tall.
At
Yeah.
1.9,
Yeah,
2
my mom is,
perhaps.
yeah, I have no idea. They're so tall. But
Oh wow, yeah. So yeah, we're sure that the tall side. Who's the most like your mom and who's the most like your dad?
most like my mom would have to be Irfan. Yeah.
Because
Because they're quite quiet, but then of course when they're with their friends, they can kind of be, just like chill and all. But most like my mom, I think right now people would say it's me, or hmm, or actually no, okay, no. Iksan is like my dad, and Iksan Ilhan is like my dad. Irfan is like my mom. Yeah.
and why is Exxon and Irfan most like your dad in terms of just soccer? I mean, just or
Um,
more than
Ix-
that.
Iksan and Ilhan like my dad because of the way, I think it's their comedic side. It's kind of becoming very similar to my dad. They just throw jokes all the time. Yeah, like lame jokes, but people still laugh at them.
What are some of the questions, Iman? I mean, you've done so many interviews for magazines, for radio, for so many media. And what is, or like, people who DM you on Instagram when you meet people, when you go through other interviews, what is that one question that, or like a couple of questions that you are very tired of?
Um, I wouldn't say I'm tired of, but it's more like, are your brothers single? I get that question so many times, and now because my younger brothers are a bit of age to
Yeah.
start seeing girls, I get questions of like, "Hi, can I date your little brother?" And I'm like, "Why are you asking me?"
Me.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, go to their Instagram. Don't come to mine. You go ask them. Yeah. So I've been getting a lot of questions about my brothers, like single relationship lives. Yeah. But I always
Okay.
think it's
Yeah.
yeah,
It's like click, 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 click. Like
yeah,
me. I think they're like trying to get through you to them,
yeah. They're trying to
right?
please the sister first, maybe, and then I'll be like, hey, there's
Then
this girl.
like, hey, I want to recommend you this girl. She's
Yeah.
cute. Like, would you feel any kind of pressure to be, close to your brother's girlfriends?
I don't feel pressure to like, oh, I have to be close to them or anything like that. But I think regarding like my oldest brother had a girlfriend. Her name is Suhaila, and we naturally got very close. And I'm still like talking to her even though they broke up, but we're like
Mm.
best friends. And I think we just actually clicked. And yeah, I think my other brother Iksan has a girlfriend now as
Has
well,
another
but we
girl.
haven't met because they're overseas. Yeah. No. They're overseas, so I hope to meet them,
Mm.
and I hope I can get close to them because I couldn't have a sister, so hopefully I can have so many
Mm.
sister-in-laws. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. This is fine. I'm gonna ask you, okay, Iman, is okay for us to think first? We can come back
Mhm.
after this. Like, does your brother feel some type of way that you're like very close to his ex-girlfriend, although they're no longer together? Take your time. We'll be back
Okay.
after this.
Yeah.
Fiza O and girlfriend. Fiza O and girlfriend. Ikut gaya cara baru to the top, no less. Alam baru, channel baru. Fiza O and girlfriend. Fiza O, Fiza O, Fiza O and girlfriend. Fiza O, Fiza O, Fiza O, Fiza O and girlfriend. Fiza O, Fiza O, Fiza O and girlfriend. Fiza O, Fiza O, Fiza O, Fiza O and girlfriend. Ikut gaya cara baru to the top, no less. Alam baru, channel baru. Fiza O and girlfriend.
What's up, fam? I'm Young Raja. I just had a beautiful conversation with Fiza O. So if you're watching this, don't forget to click the subscribe button to Fiza O and Girlfriends. Let's go.
Thank you, Young Raja. Such an amazing person. And today with Iman Fandi, kita dengan Iman Fandi hari ini. Yeah, and it was very nice of you to say that you just naturally got very close to your to your brother's girlfriend. And I think it also stands for the fact that you wanted a sister, or like you didn't have a sister, and so like
Yes.
you found sisterhood, you found this like girlfriends kind of relationship with Suhaila. So now that they're not together, and I don't think it's an easy thing for someone as young as your brother or for yourself to go through relationships publicly, and everyone's like, oh, they're not together, and the whole of Singapore will know that.
Yeah. I think definitely when they broke up, I feel like the whole of Singapore found out, and people were like asking questions, even asking my mom. But I think that was also like a while ago now, and they're actually very like civil. They still talk, to make sure that they're all okay because they had a long relationship.
Mhm,
They
mhm,
were together for about 8 years, if I'm not wrong.
mhm,
So
mhm.
me and Suhaila naturally formed a bond and, formed our own little friendship. So I think even after they broke up, we already knew that we would still be friends. because my brother also said like it was okay. My brother told Suhaila like it's okay. I know you have a relationship with Iman outside of their own relationship, so it's very nice that I was still able to keep that connection with her.
Yeah,
But like
that's
I don't
nice.
think he felt a way of like Iman shouldn't be hanging out with Suhaila anymore. I don't think so.
No.
Yeah.
Like, would you feel? Forget it. That no. This other question would like be like, that's my private DM to you then. Okay,
Okay, I'll wait for it.
how about yourself, Iman? Does a brothers like poke around in your business?
Oh
Like, yo,
yeah.
Iman, who are you seeing? Are you seeing anyone? Do
I
they
I
ask you that
actually
all the
like to
time?
poke around. I like to poke around theirs, too. So, then sometimes Iksan would ask me for like advice. I think there was this one time he messaged me saying like, "Oh, like what do you think of this girl?" And I was like, "Oh, okay." But anyways, they do poke around. Lately, they have been poking around because on Instagram I've been going on dinners with a friend. And they're just like, who's that? And I just like haven't said anything to them.
You
Yeah.
don't reply. You just left them on blue tick.
Yes. I mean, they will find out eventually. But I just feel like, I want to keep my personal life when it comes to like relationship right now private,
Mhm,
but not a secret, like I'm not
mhm,
trying to hide the guy or anything like
mhm,
that. But
mhm.
when I'm ready, because I feel like
Yeah.
it's still quite early.
You feel, do you feel that randomly this question that you're protecting this guy, but you're not really protecting this guy, you're protecting your relationship because you saw how public, how the public was so invested in your brother's relationship with Sohaila.
Yeah, I think a little bit comes to that. And also I had an ex-boyfriend that was also long distance and we broke up, and I think that one was quite public because he was also well known. So there was some people that were like, "Oh, you guys not together?" And some people are still asking up to this day, "Are you guys still together?" I'm like, "No, we're not." So I think I'm kind of like protecting, my friend right now. Uh,
Mhm.
my
I
friend
love
right
it when
now.
you go like my friend right now.
Yeah, but
Does
I
a
mean, my
father ask?
mom knows. My mom
Your mom
knows.
knows. Yeah.
Yeah, my mom knows. My friend, my like best friend knows. Um, but my dad, I don't think he knows, but he will find out eventually. I will introduce when I'm ready, when I know, that kind.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah.
When you're like about to get married tomorrow, you're like, "Hey, dad, just so you know, I've been dating
Oh
this
yeah, I,
person."
I have to. I have to make sure I tell my dad if I'm getting married.
Yeah, I mean, like, dad, just so you know, I've been seeing yes, but I think he does. Maybe a mom will tell him.
But I also think you don't naturally tell your parents like, "Oh, by the way, I'm
Mm.
seeing this person." I think for us, we're like, I hope the
For most of
parents,
us, yeah.
yeah, for most of us, I
Mhm.
think most of us like hopes that like our parents will kind of like get the hint. At least that's what I think. I'm like, okay, I'm going out, to see a friend, or "Oh, okay, I'm going on a date, or going for dinner," and then you just hope that they'll put everything together so we don't have to tell them. That's what I
Yeah,
hope.
right. I mean, this is very cute. I mean, I would have thought you would be very open, but you also shared the Asian side of you is shy to do this Asian side of
Yes,
you
yes. I
feels
have a
awkward
lot of
to.
that in me. I have so much of that in me. And I think that also goes into like, expressing feelings. I feel like that's a little bit like of an Asian culture that I have trouble with, where it's like it's hard for me to express feelings. And I don't know
Mhm.
if, some of you feel that too. And I don't know if it's just me, or is it just like the culture that we have and live in here in Asia. Yeah. It's not
I
like Western culture where you talk about your emotions, and because I realized with my grandma in Cape Town, I talked to her like, oh, about like this and that, but here not really. Yeah.
that's how about Iksan and Irfan? So
That I think is also personality. Yeah.
mhm. Oh, that's very sweet. And I totally get it. I'm not because I think we see Iman as very confident. We see you as having it all on social media, being so probably vocal with what you feel. Um, not vocal as in like loud, but more like expressive with what you want to say. So when you say that, oh, you actually, this Asian part of you makes you shy, this Asian part of you makes you not able to express certain things, and
Mm.
I think a lot of us relate to that. Like we
Yeah.
don't go out and tell our parents, oh, you're actually doing this. You will have a throwback session,
Yeah.
so that you don't get you don't get scolded at that point of time. Like you don't discuss about why you ran away from school for a day. You talk
Mm.
about it 5 years later
Yeah.
when you're done with school, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't talk to your mom about this current boyfriend because or like that boyfriend. Then you talk to her as like a past, like a throwback thing.
Mm. Yeah. It's like when we broke, even like with my ex, when we broke up, I was waiting for a bit, and then my friend was in the room and she was like, yeah, Iman's single now.
Mhm.
And my mom was like, what? You guys broke up? And I was like, yeah. But I was just so happy that my friend was there, so I didn't have to break the ice because I was too scared to be like, oh, by the way, me and na broke up.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You don't know how to like go up and say. And I suppose
Too
your
shy.
this music
Yeah.
part of you helps a lot. Do I see like what kind of songs would we probably be able to see or hear and enjoy in your um upcoming EP next year?
I mean, definitely, I don't want to
Too much.
give it all
Yeah.
away. Yeah, give too much away. But I am working on something where I can, like I said, like take you on a roller coaster of emotions, and something for you to dance to, something for you to, like like be happy and like think about and just reflect, and also something for you to cry to and just like deep. And also all the songs that I put together is like from personal experiences or stories that I want to share with the world, because I think honestly like my music is kind of like my diary. And
Mhm.
when I came, and I was ready to become an artist and put out music, I already knew that like okay, I'm ready to share this side of me. This like I'm ready to express more feelings that I have like
Mhm.
in a couple of years. So here you
Mhm.
go, that kind. Yeah.
Mhm.
So when you guys hear it, do let me know which one you love, and yeah, I'm just ready to put it out
Would
soon.
there be any just like how Taylor and Adele
Wrote about
has
their
been,
exes.
yeah, I remember the access. Do we see
I
any
I
like a
have
Dear
like
John thing?
songs that gave me I have songs that gave me some inspiration
Mhm.
from those experiences, but I don't know if it will be part of the EP yet. We shall see. We shall see. Maybe I'll save
So,
it for something else.
oh, something else. So love little more, love me little more.
Mhm.
Like what Iman has already explained, it's not about you. It's
No.
about your friend's experience, your close friend's experience that you're just sharing, and it's very relatable because a lot of people do wanna be loved, you know,
Yeah.
loved equally, if not more, right?
Yeah. Because I also think when I was writing the song, I think a lot of people, I mean, in a lot of relationships, I always think that, especially right now, we have so much one sided love. And I don't know if it's the generation that we're in or just because of social media. And, I think social media kind of like gives that idea of like, oh, there's other potentials of people out there. So I don't want to commit to this one yet. So then imagine being the person that puts everything in, and the other person that you're with isn't doing that. So you're just kind of like wanting that love because you closed it up and this person made you open up. But then now it's like, oh, you're gonna leave now? But can you just like love me a little more, Yeah.
Mhm. Is it so much? I mean, I have no idea, dating and finding love, especially online and through social media, the social media world. So it's so tricky to navigate through relationships.
I think definitely because like I said, there's so many options, options out there. So everybody's eyes are kind of like, woo. So it does make it hard. And also I
Mhm.
think sometimes people don't believe what's really on the internet, so it does make it hard in that way where it's like something might be off, or this might not be a real person, like catfish and all that. But I think sometimes you just have to take the risk, try it out and then see if you meet somebody through social media. And I will say I have met like amazing friends through social media. You just have to be careful and also like know your crowd. Like, you don't want
What
to
would be
get
a
into
red flag for you, Iman,
a
when
red
finding a
flag.
friend?
Ooh, someone this is okay, someone, I don't know how to put it nicely, but I'm just gonna explain it. It would definitely have to be someone that kind of like uses me for something else, because I have definitely felt that before. Or but I would say that I'm quite good at like picking my friends out, because I
Mhm.
have had experiences where I kind of like knew this girl or this guy was like in it for something else,
Mhm.
and I waited until they proved me wrong, and sometimes it just never goes the right way, and I was just like, I kind of knew from the start that you were gonna do that. So yeah.
So you kind of, give them chances before it's obvious that they're just making use of you.
Yeah, I think sometimes I like to believe the best in people. And even
Mhm.
my friend says this is probably a bad thing that I do, but I'm too nice to people that hurt me,
Mhm.
because I think, oh, maybe the next time they won't do it again. Maybe I'll give them another chance.
Do you find
Maybe,
that some people are friends with you to get through your contacts?
sorry?
You find that some friends get close to you to get through to other things, like other
Yeah,
contacts
yeah,
that you
definitely.
have.
But I give them chances because, like, I feel like maybe they won't do it, or I think about like, oh, give them another chance, that kind. And my friends tell me like, no, you have to sometimes be a bit more like strict and be like, no,
And
you're not
cut
gonna
it.
be my friend anymore or something.
Mhm.
But I always feel so like sad when I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, like I shouldn't give you a chance, but I want to, but I shouldn't.
Mhm.
I feel guilty,
Mhm.
although I'm not the one that's doing anything bad. Yeah.
I've had I think Iman has shared so much with the girls today. I really appreciate it. Before, of course, and don't forget, I actually linked up Iman's music video in the caption. Jadi saya telah pun letakkan link bagi music video Iman, Love Me Little More. So just click on it, watch it. How long do you take to do the video, Iman?
Oh, it took 2 days to film.
Mm.
It was, I mean, from early mornings to late nights, but I felt like the music video was just like so fun to film. We had so
Mhm.
much fun.
The model in the video is just a model, or is it like a friend?
He's just a model. I've had questions. Even my mom was asking me, and my grandma was asking me, like, "Who's that boy?" And I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
yeah,
he's just an actor. Like, he's just a model. Like, don't start,
yeah.
But yeah, he's just a model, and it was his first time actually filming a music video, if I'm not wrong. And I think he did amazing, and it was just so fun to have, an on-screen partner, because for my
Mhm.
first song, Time Frame, it was just me. It was very fashion forward, and for this music video, I definitely wanted to like show a
Like a
story, and
story.
yeah, yeah. So that's why we
Yeah.
got him in.
Do you feel like whenever you're with a boy in some situation, is that your boyfriend?
What do you mean? Like people ask
Like
me?
when yeah, people ask you like, so are you are you together? Do you get it all the time?
I do get it sometimes, but I think, especially with like friends that are very like close family friends, I
Mhm,
do get
mhm,
that sometimes when I'm like going out for dinner or walking around
mhm.
town. But I think you can kind of like tell the difference when you like seeing somebody and someone that's a friend. So yeah,
Yeah.
but I do get it
So
sometimes.
so yeah, you're not gonna get any answers from Iman because even Iksan and Irfan is on blue tick right now. They're like, who's that?
At least not yet. Yeah, you guys won't get the answers of the topics that
Yeah.
you were
You
talking
will
about
get
just.
it when Iman wants to share it, basically.
Yes.
When Iman
Yes.
is ready for it.
I'll give you guys
So
links on social media, but that's all you guys can see.
like glimpses of the hands,
Oh, I
glimpses of the
posted those.
shoulders.
I actually did post that on like we went to the aquarium
Uh-huh.
and for dinner, and so I posted like the hand or like the silhouette, and people were like, who's that? And that's when my brothers were asking questions of who I was like hanging out around with. So yeah.
Mm. So now we know if it's on a feed, it's not her boyfriend.
if it's on the story,
That
in
is
the
the real one. If you see
yeah.
the face, nah, that's not the person. If you see the shoulder, you see just like the back of the
Yeah, yeah.
hand. That's the forearm. That's the boyfriend.
Now you guys know my trick.
So now I know. So now you're gonna be more observant of like your IG stories. Like, okay, no. I don't think he's not so hairy. No, this is more hairy. The hand is more hairy. They're gonna like nitpick like the shoulder, the
Investigate.
width of the shoulder.
Yeah, everybody's gonna be investigating now.
Yeah. So now you know feet. Not. The real deal is on the stories. Iman, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. At 21 years old, you've done so much. You've already have 2 singles out. And what will be your biggest achievement so far to you?
I think definitely right now in 2021 would have to be branching out as a singer and growing up as an individual. And I'm also so proud of myself that I was able to get a school like psychology degree while I've been like handling all this. And yeah, that's one of my biggest achievements right now. So I'm just great.
You have a degree in psychology.
Yes, I do. Not a lot of people know about it, I think, but I graduated in April.
Congrats.
Thank
I'm
you.
so happy for you.
Thank you so much.
That's a great degree. I mean,
Yeah.
I was, like literally, I was just talking to my very good friend, about taking psychology because I think it's a need
Yeah, and it's
right
so
now.
useful. It's so
It's so
useful for
useful.
like yourself or like your friends. My friends come to me for advice all the time, and I can like help them, you know. Yeah, it's honestly right now in this society and the world we live in, it can be used anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. Does it help you a lot as a person as well, as an
Yeah, it
individual?
helps me understand myself, and I can kind of like, okay, Iman, don't do this, do something else. I can kind of like trick my mind into doing little other things, which is good. Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of like hacking through your brain through
Yeah.
whatever you've studied before. Like, yeah.
Yes.
And that's great.
Yeah.
Congrats. This is Iman truly, beauty with talent and brains, having a degree in psychology and now, doing so many things all on top of one another, taking your degree and finally getting it this year and having 2 songs in a year. It's a lot. I mean, 2021 has been great for you. And I'm hoping, more to come for like,
Mhm.
a different, like, kind of exponential growth in your career, for you as a person, and we look forward to seeing more, the back of the shoulder of someone, the forearm of someone, in your IG stories. And we wish you, we wish you all the best. Any last words for all of your fans? Oh, so many people are so proud of you. Congrats, Iman, a psychology degree, beauty with brains. Of course, beauty with no makeup. She's got nothing on her face, just moisturizer and a concealer. So what are your last words, Iman, before we, say goodbye for now?
I mean, I definitely want to thank all of you, especially and you too, Fiza. For sticking by me, for supporting me, and even to listen to this little stream right now, because I think this was a platform for me to be able to share more about myself, and I hope you guys can relate to whatever I said, and hopefully I can even inspire um, for whoever is watching to take the risk to do something that you love. And yeah, thank you so much for the support, and I greatly appreciate it. And I can't wait to put more things out, and hopefully I can also make you guys all Singaporeans proud of what I do.
Iman, can I just push it a bit more? Can I
Mhm.
ask you, can I trouble to go like, hi everyone, I'm Iman. Of course, no, you're Iman. Um, thank you. Thank you for watching Fiza O and Girlfriends. Don't forget to subscribe. Something like that in your way, in your words, in your own words. Okay,
And
I'm just gonna wait for a bit because right now you're a bit pixelated. I think the Wi-Fi is just
okay.
a bit challenging right now. Let me see. Let me just hang on. Okay, let's come back in 30 seconds, and I hoping that the picture is not so pixelated. And thank you, Iman. Be back.
Fiza O and girlfriend. Fiza O and girlfriend. gaya cara baru to the top, no less. Alam baru, channel baru, Fiza O and girlfriends. Fiza O, Fiza O, 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 Fiza O and girlfriends. Ikut gaya cara baru to the top, no less. Alam baru, channel baru, Fiza O and girlfriends.
What's up, guys? My name is Faris Jabba. You are watching Fiza O and Girlfriends. I guess I'm a girlfriend today. Don't forget to subscribe. Peace.
Munggah ke depan. Okay, is it better now? Okay, yes. Okay, so Iman, in your words, something for Fiza O and girlfriends. Okay, 1, 2, and 3.
Hi everyone, it's Iman Fandi and you're watching Fiza O and Girlfriends. So please like and subscribe and check out this channel. Is that okay?
Can we do one more because it was a bit frozen? Oh my goodness. I wish this is offline, but I gotta steal you because of your timing. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Hi everyone, it's Iman Fandi and you're watching Fiza O and Girlfriends. So please like and subscribe and check out this channel.
Fantastic. That was great. Thank you so much, Iman. I truly wish your EP dream would fly next year. I'm sure you're such a hard worker. You're the kind of girl who works super super hard behind the scenes, and you enter the world when you are fully ready. You surprise us, like what you've always done. Surprise us with your modeling career. Surprise us with your first EP, and then surprise us again when you come with the next single so fast. I think you're that kind of person who will only say something, tell something when you're so sure of it. And we're so sure next year's EP is gonna be a great one. I don't know, but I feel there's gonna be a collab on your EP that you're not telling us right now. But it's gonna be great. So let me know when there's new news, like when we can see more than just a shoulder, more than just an arm. I'm here, girlfriend. Okay, and don't forget to also subscribe to Iman on her YouTube channel, because she has. I mean, I saw that you do have some challenges with your mom and things like that. And we want to see more of that on your on your own social media, on your own YouTube channel. So thank you, Iman. We love you. Thank you,
so much.
girlfriend.
Thank you.
Tengok dia, penampilan kau sepenuhnya. Setiap langkah bertenaga, semua tengah